By a show of fingers, who would say that on most days you pay attention to the 2024 election cycle? On most days you pay attention to it? 4 of you. I'm also curious about your political ideologies, whether you're, listen carefully, very liberal, somewhat liberal, moderate, somewhat conservative, or very conservative. Those are your 5 choices. By show of fingers, who would say that you're very liberal? 3 of you. Who would say that you're somewhat liberal? 2 of you. Who would say you're moderate? Great, 2 more. I'd also like to know whether you watched most, some, or none of the Democratic convention last month. By a show of fingers, who watched most or all of it? Got 1, Joel. Who watched some of it? 5 of you. William watched none of it? Okay. Just out of curiosity, why didn't you watch?
It's kind of like I was talking about with the campaign ads, the White Dudes for Harris ad. I didn't think anything that would be in there would change any of my ideas or opinions on anything. So it kind of just seems like a pep rally almost to me.
Okay. Got it. I'd like to know whether you gentlemen watched most, some, or none of the Republican convention back in July. So, who watched most or all of the Republican convention? Joel did. Who watched some of it? 3 of you. Who watched none of it? 3 of you. Samuel, how come you didn't watch any of it?
I saw clips of it. It happened in Milwaukee. I was more interested in the news of what was going around Milwaukee, so I did keep up with it. I didn't watch any of it.
Okay. John, what about you?
So for me, it would just be just because I wasn't really interested in it. I kind of already had like some idea, it was just Donald Trump again. So I figured, I don't think anything new would be being said. So I felt like just be wouldn't really sway my decision, or
Okay.
I wouldn't learn anything new.
Got it. By a show of fingers, who would say that on most days you pay attention to the 2024 election? Who would say on most days you're paying attention to the 2024 election? 3 of you. I'm also interested in hearing about what you think your political ideology is, where you would place yourself. Whether you're, listen carefully, very liberal, somewhat liberal, moderate, somewhat conservative, or very conservative. Who would say in this group that you're very conservative? Any of you? None of you. Who would say that you're somewhat conservative? Show of fingers. Who would say you're somewhat conservative? 6 of you. Who would say you're moderate? 2 of you. Okay. I'd also like to know whether you watched most, some, or none of the Democratic convention last month. By a show of fingers, who watched all or most of it? None of you. Who watched some of the Democratic convention? 2 of you. Who watched none of it? 5 of you. Do I have everybody counted? Who watched all or most of it?
I put my finger up late during some.
Some. Okay,
I think
got
you
it.
caught that.
Good, thank you. All right, so 3 of you watched some, 5 of you watched none of it. For those of you who watched none of it, why didn't you watch any of it?
I was traveling for work.
Okay.
I
Any other-
guess I was uninterested and I thought I would see more of the highlights on the news.
Okay, did you?
Yeah, from NBC when I watch it in the morning.
Okay. Other reasons why people didn't watch?
Given the clips of Harris that circulate the internet as it is, I figured it was a waste of my time.
So Brandon, you feel like you're able to get her message through what you're seeing online.
I think if the clip, algorithm aside or whatever, if a clip is circling the internet enough, that tells me enough people are interested in it, and the message that that content pushes should be enough. Maybe it's not the complete picture, but it's enough to communicate a vibe of the collective opinion of that person.
Got it. I'd also like to know whether you watched most, some, or none of the Republican convention in July. By a show of fingers, who watched most or all of the Republican convention? None of you. Who watched some of it? Some of the Republican convention? 5 of you. And who watched none of it? 3 of you. Brandon, same reason why you didn't watch the Republican convention or different?
I think the message is the same. Like I said about Harris, if enough of the collective communicates that message, same thing. I'm not going to waste my time in either way.
Okay, got it. James, can you say, can we hear you? Thought I heard you. Then I say something. Can you unmute? Try it again. There you are. Say something.
Okay. Hello.
Awesome. So tell me why you didn't watch it.
I didn't I actually didn't know about it. I don't think I caught it in time. But I don't think I would have watched it either way. I probably would have just waited for the debate.
Got it. Okay. Thanks. And thanks for using your phone. I appreciate it. I'm sorry it's a little cumbersome, but actually I hear you a lot better now.
No problem.
Thank you. All right.